Welcome back to Book with Joys. Today, we're diving into a topic that has the power to completely change the way you see yourself and your relationships. It's called attachment theory, and we're going to explore the 4 main attachment styles so that by the end of this episode, you'll be able to answer the question, which one am I? Whether you're single, dating, married, or somewhere in between, this is for you because your attachment style shapes how you give and receive love, how you handle conflict, and even how you recover from heartbreak. What is an attachment style? So, let's start with the basics. Attachment styles are patterns of emotional connection that we develop in childhood, based on how our caregivers responded to us, and they tend to follow us into adulthood. If our early needs for safety, comfort, and love were met consistently, we usually develop secure attachment. But if they weren't, we might develop an insecure style. And that can show up in our adult relationships as anxiety, avoidance, or a push-pull dynamic. The key thing to remember? Attachment styles aren't fixed forever. They're patterns, not personality traits. And the moment you become aware of them, you can start changing them. The 4 attachment styles. Let's break them down. 1. Secure attachment. People with a secure style are comfortable with closeness and independence. They trust their partners, communicate openly, and can handle conflict without spiraling. In childhood, they probably had caregivers who were responsive, consistent, and emotionally available. As adults, secure attaches can say, "I love you, and I'm also okay on my own." Signs you might be secure. One of the most beautiful things about secure attachment is that it allows you to lean on people without losing yourself. You can rely on your partner, your friends, your family, and it doesn't feel like you're giving away pieces of who you are. You still have your own identity, your own voice, your own passions. You see interdependence as strength, not weakness. Love isn't about merging into one person. It's about 2 whole people walking side by side. And here's another thing. You don't panic when your partner needs space. You don't spiral into, "Oh no, they must not love me anymore." You understand that space is part of the rhythm of a healthy relationship. You trust the bond you've built, and you use that time to nourish yourself, your hobbies, your friends, your inner world. You know that love actually breathes better when it has a little room. And maybe most importantly, you believe, deep down, that you're worthy of love. Not because you've worked for it. Not because you've earned it by being perfect. Simply because you exist. That quiet confidence allows you to receive love without suspicion, to express your needs without shame, and to stop performing for approval. Love stops feeling like a test you have to pass and starts feeling like a safe place to land. That's what secure attachment looks like. It's calm, it's steady, and it's deeply freeing. 2. Anxious-preoccupied attachment. This style is fueled by a deep fear of abandonment. If this is you, you might find yourself overthinking texts, worrying your partner might leave, or needing constant reassurance. In childhood, love might have felt inconsistent. Sometimes your needs were met. Sometimes they weren't, so you learned to cling tightly to avoid losing connection. Signs you might be anxious. You crave closeness and reassurance. If you have an anxious attachment style, you often feel a deep need for connection and affirmation in your relationships. It's not just about liking your partner's company. It's a constant yearning to feel secure and validated. Without regular signs of affection or reassurance, you may start to question the stability of the relationship, even if nothing is actually wrong. You overanalyze small changes in your partner's tone or behavior. A text that takes longer to arrive, a slightly shorter response than usual, or a change in your partner's voice can spark a wave of worry. Your mind might jump to worst-case scenarios, replay conversations, and dissect tiny details, searching for hidden meaning. This hyper-awareness is often rooted in a fear of abandonment, making you extra sensitive to perceived shifts in connection. You feel distressed when you're not in contact. When you can't reach your partner or they seem emotionally unavailable, it can feel overwhelming. The discomfort isn't just emotional. It can manifest physically, with restlessness, trouble focusing, or a knot in your stomach. This distress stems from a deep-seated belief that distance means danger for the relationship, triggering an urgent need to re-establish closeness. 3. Dismissive-avoidant attachment. If you lean avoidant, you value independence so much that closeness can feel suffocating. You may keep emotional walls high and prefer to deal with problems alone. Often, avoidant attachment forms when caregivers were emotionally unavailable, dismissive, or pushed you toward self-reliance too early. Signs you might be avoidant. You pull away when things get too intimate. When emotional closeness deepens, whether through vulnerability, deep conversations, or increased commitment, you may start to feel uneasy or suffocated. It's not necessarily that you don't care. In fact, you might care deeply. But intimacy can trigger a fear of losing your independence or being engulfed by someone else's needs. This often leads to creating distance physically, emotionally, or both just when the relationship is growing closer. You find it hard to express emotions. Feelings might be deeply felt but rarely shared. You may downplay your own needs, avoid difficult conversations, or change the subject when emotions rise. Expressing vulnerability can feel risky, as if revealing your inner world will lead to rejection, judgment, or a loss of control. As a result, others may see you as emotionally unavailable or hard to read. Even if you experience strong emotions internally, you feel more comfortable relying on yourself than on others. Self-reliance feels safe because it means you control the outcome and avoid potential disappointment. Depending on others can feel unfamiliar or even threatening, especially if early experiences taught you that others might not be there when you need them. You may pride yourself on independence, but this can sometimes come at the cost of deeper, mutually supportive relationships. 4. Fearful-avoidant, or disorganized, attachment. This style is a push-pull mix. You want love, but you also fear it. You might crave connection one moment, then panic and withdraw the next. This often develops in homes where love and fear coexisted. For example, if a caregiver was both a source of comfort and of pain. Signs you might be fearful-avoidant. You have a strong desire for intimacy but also feel unsafe in it. You deeply want emotional closeness, love, and connection. Yet when someone offers it, an inner alarm often goes off. Intimacy feels both magnetic and dangerous, as if letting someone in means you could lose control, be hurt, or be abandoned. This creates a constant push and pull. You may reach out for closeness, then retreat the moment it feels too much. The result is emotional whiplash for you and the people you care about. You might sabotage relationships when they start going well. When a relationship feels stable or starts to deepen, fear can kick in. You might pick fights over small things, withdraw without explanation, or convince yourself that your partner isn't truly trustworthy. This self-sabotage isn't because you don't want love. It's often a way to preemptively protect yourself from the pain of potential rejection, even if that pain hasn't happened yet. You fear being hurt but also fear being alone. This is the heart of the fearful-avoidant dilemma. You long for connection but dread the vulnerability it requires. Being hurt by someone you trust feels unbearable, but so does being lonely. This inner conflict can create cycles of closeness and distance, making it hard to maintain steady, secure relationships. You might constantly scan for signs of danger in love, even when your partner is safe and caring. Why this matters? Here's why understanding your attachment style is life-changing. When you can name your pattern, you can catch it in action. You can communicate your needs better, set healthier boundaries, and choose partners who can meet you where you are. And remember, your style can shift over time. Through therapy, self-awareness, and healthy relationships, many people move towards secure attachment. Practical next steps. So, what can you do right now? 1. Take a quiz to identify your attachment style. Register the link at description to know what attachment style you are. 2. Observe your reactions in relationships, especially during conflict or separation. 3. Learn emotional regulation skills so you're not ruled by your fears or defenses. And most importantly, practice secure behaviors, like open communication, respecting boundaries, and self-soothing. If today's episode resonated with you, share it with a friend who's curious about why they love the way they do. And remember, no matter your starting point, you can create the safe, loving connections you deserve. Thanks for tuning in to Books with Joys. I'll see you in the next episode.